Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got here. Well, let me tell you.
Every artist has a project they've been plugging away at for years that's still incomplete. As you allow those songs to collect dust, they haunt you. Wondering what could have been and still wondering what could be if life would only let you get your ducks in a row. A great idea that has yet to pan out into more. A great nugget of an idea that just hasn't been nourished to its full potential. I have several of those projects, to be honest. But the project that's haunted me for roughly 6 years is whatever the hell this band is called. The Pontiac Ghoulies, Wizard Piss, Gorgeous Overlord, Sour Voices, whatever. Throughout the years, I've been hot and cold in terms of making time to be in a band. Over time, I became more of a lone wolf and only outsourced other players when I couldn't do something myself. Other times, I feel born to rock and I want to drop everything I'm doing and go on tour. This band was supposed to be the dawn of a new era. A dawn of a new era of us going back to playing hard rock and metal after performing as a 3-piece acoustic for a few years. Coming out the gate with hard-hitting players and some new crushing songs. Several songs which I'd already had banked for the future, kind of knowing they were pretty good if I ever wanted to rock again. Those songs were Sasquatch 4, Almost Drowning, and a song Alec brought to the table called Wrist Breaker. If you ask my band, they'll tell you I haven't wanted to be called Pedwell since probably 2008, but I could never pull the trigger on a name change, so I just stuck with it. Indecision will be the death of me. What started as me bringing a bunch of my unused riffy songs to the table began to evolve into a project of equal contributors. David Swart is our drummer.
Oh, nice!
At the time, he was running a rehearsal studio in East Van known as Sanctuary Studios. It was a horror-themed studio that was kind of one of a kind. We started rehearsing there in what was called the Red Room and started working out song arrangements, jamming out covers, drinking beers, and just generally having fun.
This beer smells like shit. Smell it. Smell it.
It had been so long since I'd played electric guitar that I'd sold off all my electrics, so Alec gave me a $99 Squire to jam with, and that was my guitar for longer than I'd wish to admit. Shane Hayes remained our bass player and backup vocalist.
Shane, has anyone ever told you that you look like everyone from the Red Green Show put together? With duct tape?
We maintained our ongoing record of meeting each other at the pub before every rehearsal, and we've become great friends staying true to our routine to this day. And of course, my pal Alec Von Hensky.
This is, Pontiac Ghoulie Piss. Overlords.
The Glenn Tipton to my KK Downing.
David Swart on the drums. What? I mean, Alec.
Not only took lead guitar duties, but also songwriting as well. It was fun, and the songs were pretty good. Somewhere along the line, we started becoming a band. Well, kind of. They still constantly break out into 80s songs I've never heard. I had recently quit my kitchen job to pursue music full-time as a singer-songwriter. The pressures of performing several times a week and needing to save my voice eventually caused me to pull out of this project. It disappointed the other guys because we'd put in so much time and energy into the project, getting it off the ground. But I felt like my hands were tied. In other words, I bitched out of playing metal with my friends because I thought I was better off playing Tom Petty covers. So the other guys kept going, and they brought in Miguel, formerly of Alec's band Sugar Blade, to be the vocalist. In years past, Alec, Miguel, and David were all in a band together called Faces of Eve, so they dusted off a few of those tracks, a couple Sugar Blade songs, and a few of the songs we did as Pontiac Ghoulies, and called themselves Gorgeous Overlord. They jammed when their schedules allowed, but the project ultimately began to fizzle out again. When the COVID-19 pandemic began, we were all kind of forced to reevaluate our priorities as individuals, staying within our bubbles. We moved into a new rehearsal space at Jamnasium and started getting back to jamming every week routinely. Now that we were back rehearsing, we did our best to choose a direction genre-wise. We decided we were going to focus on a more thrash, aggressive metal sound moving forward. We blistered through the songs we remembered, and within a few weeks, we wrote a bunch more. Everybody brought ideas to the table, and for the first time, I was singing in a band that I didn't write all the music for. A welcome change for me as a player. Alec came over to my place and we demoed some more new riffs and brought them to rehearsal. That same week, Shane started sending us over some of his originals that he sings on. We had all these songs, all these great ideas, but since we made the decision to be metal, we started to wrongly discard and discount riffs or songs because they quote-unquote weren't metal enough. By doing that, we really shot ourselves in the foot, where time that we could have spent nourishing those non-metal ideas was wasted by defining ourselves rather than letting our music speak for itself. So yeah, we stagnated again for a while. On top of that, I broke my leg and couldn't rehearse for a further 6 weeks. The band was starting to come apart again and we could all sense it.
Shane isn't here! We are better! Alec Brisky couldn't make it to practice tonight because he's a total douche licker. Hey, Shane, do you have anything to say to Alec Brisky? Hey, Swart, do you have anything to say to Alec?
Fuck that guy.
The next few waves of COVID come and go. We navigate rehearsals the best we can in terms of keeping everybody safe. It felt like the project was missing something. Believe it or not, Wizard Piss was close to being dead in the water. Again. After a couple months of juggling schedules, we finally managed to get all in a room together again. We play our metal thrash songs, but this time around, something had changed. Everybody felt like we were forcing it. So we stopped playing for a few minutes and discussed what the heck we're doing here. Collectively, we chose that choosing a direction was foolish, when we'd already written so many great songs but shied away from them. So we looked at our master lists of songs we'd already written and played the ones we'd written off. At that moment, we realized this project hadn't been missing anything at all. If anything, we were already rich in content, but needed to just get out of our own way. So that's kind of where we're at. We've gotten rid of the stuff that didn't work, and we're polishing up the stuff that does work. Who knows? Maybe sometime before the year 2030, we may actually record a song or two. We still probably won't have a proper name, though.
Are we ever gonna play a show? Who knows? Probably not. Maybe we will. Maybe we'll tour with fucking Slipknot. Who knows? But one thing's for sure. I'll be hammered.